blow your mind. Start up does not waste his time. My advice to you is this: if you shoot at him, you better not miss. Stutters be
It's just the idea that the entire German High Command would be at a movie premiere, and so what better way to wipe them out than to blow up the premiere?
It was very difficult because, and particularly like during pre-production, I was literally having to fly from Germany to Paris every weekend for casting, and the casting was very long, drawn-out process. I mean, not drawn out. It was just grueling because I was always acting opposite them and stuff. But it was a tough birth. But the babies were magnificent. I mean, it's the cast really is impeccable. They really support the movie. I'm almost kind of building the film on the cast. Actually, in a lot of ways, they're almost the foundation of the film.
He's sort of infamous for bombarding you with backstories, with references, movies that he'd like you to watch, at least in my case. And then, of course, every actor, I think, has an idea of what that character is, and so it's a work you do together with your director and sort of make it your own.
Nur gerade vielleicht würden Sie meinem Sohn zum Geburtstag ein Autogramm geben?
Aber natürlich gerne, Wilhelm. Dieser fesche Oberfeldwebel ist heute glücklicher Vater geworden. I think the big draw of this film, at least for me as a European, was that I get to speak not just in my respective language, but also I never understood as an actor why everybody has to speak English if a movie's set in a foreign country. It doesn't make any sense. Or if it's a period film, even speak with a British accent. It's just, to me, it never made sense. I'm so happy finally a big American director, had the guts to do this.
Pourquoi avons-nous besoin de matériel de tournage?
Parce que Marcel, mon cher, nous allons faire un film. Uniquement pour les nazis.
Well, it takes Quentin to, do it. Even though it might seem obvious, you have to have the guts and not budge to sort of presumptions. And that's, one of Quentin's fortes. Otherwise you end up with these British actors who dye their hair blonde, put blue contact lenses in and start to speak in
with a German
ridiculous
accent,
accents.
Yeah.
In the case of Christoph Waltz's Londa was the fact that he has to speak 3 languages perfectly, and even a bit of a 4th language. And you could find actors that they could do the German, they could do the French, or they could do any combination thereof. But just being fluent in a language isn't all there is. All right, I mean, German actors came in that could do the German, do the French, and they were fluent in English. There's no question about their English, but they didn't have the poetry in English that they had in German, that they had in French, and so I literally had to have somebody who could basically get the poetry out of the lines, get the rhythm out of the lines, and also get my jokes.
If a rat were to walk in here right now as I'm talking, would you greet it with a source of your delicious milk?
Probably not.
I didn't think so. You don't like them. You don't really know why you don't like them. All you know is you find them repulsive.
That's what's so kind of fun with Quentin, is that he's so true to the world that he creates. He can't fake it. I mean, the world might be a fantasy, but within that fantasy, everything's got to be real. And that's what's so kind of interesting about the way he writes and the way he directs, is that it's kind of I don't know, hyper real, but there's a realism within the fantasy of the world that he creates.
Tarantino is made up of being a film fan and a film master. And the oscillation between those two states is his hum, his 60-cycle hum that he has all the time. You see it in his life, and you see it in his movies, and it's thrilling to watch.
I need to know about Germans hiding in trees, and you need to tell me. And you need to tell me right now.
I respectfully refuse, sir.
Actually, we're all tickled to hear you say that. Quite frankly, watching Donnie beat Nazis to death is the closest we ever get to going to the movies. Donnie!
Yeah.
Guy's German here wants to die for country. Oblige him.
What I thought is so amazing in the script, and I think it's the best script he wrote since Pulp Fiction and True Romance, is the concept that he just... I mean, when I was a kid, I was dreaming about how that would be, how if you had the chance, or if somebody had the chance to save all those people with killing those guys, and it never happened. Some people tried it, but not much, not many. And he goes and he makes a movie, and he says, "I'm gonna change the history, and I'm gonna change the outcome of the war."
It's history. It's set in stone. So for someone to come along and go, "Wait a minute, this could have happened if these people had met, and it's not impossible they might have." This story could have happened. And the fact that Quentin has the freedom to come up with something like that is just amazing to me.
Sergeant Hugo Stiglitz. Lieutenant Aldo Rain. These are the Basterds. Ever heard of us? We just want to say we're a big fan of your work. When it comes to killing Nazis, I think you show great talent. And I pride myself in having an eye for that kind of talent. Your status as a Nazi killer is still amateur. We all come here to see if you want to go pro.